It started as a dream. Dozens applied, but only 10 were chosen. Every voice was powerful, but only one walked away as the winner. VoiceQuest Live is where voices become unforgettable.
VoiceQuest Live! Speaker number 3, Paul Ybarra.
What's up, VoiceQuest 2025? Is that all we got? Come on, guys. How excited are you? I am so fired up, as you can tell, to see all of you here for this incredible, unforgettable experience that we all share together. So I want you to look at your neighbor and I want you to say, listen, we are about to have, go on, a boom shaka experience. All right, because I like to involve everyone as I speak. Now, have you ever had that one moment, that one shot, where you knew you had to make that first good impression? Kind of like tonight, like right now. And you knew as you had that one shot, you had to go all in, not leaving anything out. Well, my friends, for some of you, I will take that burden for you tonight. Okay, so you're welcome. So I have a question for you. Will you allow me to share my heart with you tonight by show of hands? Thank you. And the reason I'm pulling all of this in for you is because the topic that I'm going to touch on tonight just may hit just a little heavy. Why? Because it's real, it's deep, and it's necessary. Because this topic is something that we all deal with every single day, and it's pressure. It's the pressures of life that we have. I've been there. This is pressure right now, if I could be 100% honest with you, because it's that one shot. But what I want to share with you tonight is understanding that you're not alone. I've been in that place. I've been in that place of understanding building a business, building an organization, building anything in life. It can get pretty messy, right? That's a reality. But here's the truth. And I want you to grasp this to really pull into the concept of understanding that you were built to rise. How many here agree with a show of hands that you are built to rise? You are built to overcome, right? But here's the reality. We focus on leaning into success. We chase the motivation. We even post all of our wins. But the one thing that we fail to post at times is the chaos that comes with it. Because building a business, a family, a new lifestyle, a habit change, any of those things, it hits a little hard. But when we look at our life and when we look at these moments, we can be free from those. Why? Because we each have a story. If you were raised anything like me, you heard these several phrases. Push through. Don't complain. Just keep going. But what if we changed the narrative just a little bit and realized that pressure is only feedback? Your pressure that you deal with every single day, that I deal with every single day, coming from an abusive home, it only helps me to understand that those are just triggers. That I'm not going to end up like the person who did it to me. But because I overcome and because I'm able to step into my next season, into my next level, is helping somebody else step into theirs. You have a story. You have those long nights creating a business. Whatever you are creating, you're going to have those things that come left. You're going to have those moments. Why? Because you are so sold out in the passion and the thing that you have. I was there. I've been in those seasons of having to shut down social media, having to shut down people, having to redirect and look deep inside into my inner compass to say something has to shift. And until we get to that place, we will never overcome. That is creating a facade. And so as we are here tonight, I'm just so pleased to be here tonight, and I'm just thankful. Why? Because my story is something in the next minute that can actually change your life. And here's what I want you to understand. You are built to rise. People are watching you. Your family is watching you. Your spouses are watching you. Judges are watching you. People in your courts are watching you. Why? Not to see you fail, but to make sure that they can trust your consistency, your integrity, and push through the frustrations of life. And here's why. Because they want to follow you because of what you have and what you've gone through. So I will end with this. Leadership isn't forged in comfort. Leadership is refined in chaos. Entrepreneurs don't just build businesses. They build resilience step by step. You have the goods. You are built to rise. It's time for you to go out and get it. Why? Because it's your job to take that person to the next level. Thank you.
Good job. Yay! I love that. Pressure is feedback. And speaking of feedback, judges.
Be nice. Be nice.
You said, trust your consistency. What I loved about this was that your talk in and of itself was truth in action. You used your tone to guide us with fun. You let us decide that we were going to listen. When you were going to take us somewhere deeper, you told us that's what you were going to do. You didn't lead us anywhere that you didn't allow us to follow you. And your movements were deliberate. Your steps were deliberate. And so when you said to trust your consistency and integrity, I heard that in every single word that you said tonight. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And I'll lead on from there that I'll say that, yes, because you took me to that moment, like I was on the precipice going, am I about to cry? Because you did such a good job of framing that, I was waiting for the depth of a story. And I felt like I missed out on getting a depth of the story. And I can tell you have stories. So I'd like you to share one. Not right now because we're out of time. Oh. But I would have loved to have just to take us down into one. Yeah. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul, you command attention, my friend. You stepped out and then those red shoes and that smile, and I was like, oh, Paul's gonna bring it, I know it. Yeah, your presence is your greatest strength. And what my feedback is just gonna be that bring us into a moment in time, right? So, one way to say it is story, but what makes a great story is there's a specific moment in time where something happens, you have agency, and then nothing is ever the same again because of this moment, right? Makes sense. Give us that specificity and show us. There was the telling portion of it, which was powerful, but show us through that moment.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Boom shakalaka. No, seriously, one of the things I love so much, and everybody here has commented on it, is just the passion and the heart, and with it, the relatability. I mean, it's hard to sometimes get that when you're standing on the stage. You can't totally see people in the audience. So the fact that you were able to do that in a really powerful way speaks volumes about you and your presence. Kind of like the story and the moment. I wanted more structure to this talk. I wasn't totally sure where you were taking us. The points are there. I just wanted more of a clear narrative so I could track along and lock each of these pieces in.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. Speaker number 4, Megan Bonde.
I started a business in my basement when I was 12. I ran across the street one day to my best friend's house, and I told her my big idea. Let's plan a Halloween day camp for the kids in the neighborhood. So we open up the lesson planning book that my mom gave us for playing school. We're writing down our ideas for the art projects, the games, the activities, the snacks. We put together our budget for the candy and decorations. Then we figure out our marketing plan, our flyers that we're going to pass out around the neighborhood, and our sales strategy, 50 cents per hour per kid. We go around, the parents send their kids, and we put our vision into action. It was so fun to get to bring that big idea and put it in place. But I didn't always feel this energized in my work. Years later, I was an educational leader in a middle school. And one day, I was walking down the vaulted hallway in front of the lockers, and a 6th grader, who I'd come to love through his infectious smile, his sense of humor, his unbelievable hip-hop dance moves, and his frequent visits to the office for getting kicked out of class. And that day, he was being led out of the school to a police car. And I asked another leader, what happened? And they told me he was in the cafeteria playing music from a speaker, and the adult told him he couldn't do it and to give up the speaker, and he became defiant and dangerous. I was devastated that a neurodivergent student that I loved could be treated this way over something so simple. How could we do this just because a kid struggles with emotional regulation? I was exhausted from these types of things happening over and over. I would speak up, and I was told, stay in your lane. You're too idealistic, too sensitive, too emotional with your ideas. So I got help. And through that journey, I discovered I'm neurodivergent. I was shocked. I was literally doing the trainings as a leader in special education for years for the teachers to create inclusive learning environments. But I started to realize that my work environment wasn't inclusive for me. It wasn't meeting my needs. So I eventually left and started my business. But the first thing I needed to do was recover from my exhaustion and rest. My millions of open tabs on my laptop and my full schedule turned into a schedule of self-care. Because as a high achiever, I was going to crush burnout recovery. Then I started putting systems together for my business. And I looked at all of the things that they thought were problems about how I was responding in my work environment, and I actually turned them into strengths. My idealism was my vision for what was possible. My high sensitivity was my deep empathy for others and my strong sense of fairness. And my loud voice helped me to be a speaker and put myself out there. And so I built these systems in my business to be able to really work the way that I'm wired and be able to have space to move during the day, process my big emotions, rest, spend time with my family, make a big impact. And what I didn't expect is that when I actually slowed down and set this up, I had an even bigger impact on my community. I was able to model for my kids And now they are learning through self-directed education in a whole new way so that they get to work the way they're wired. When passionate leaders design systems and set things up that really leverage their strengths and shift away from seeing those traits as problems, we can have a huge impact and feel energized by our work. So this week, take 5 minutes and write down some of those things that people have told you is problematic, and shift it to see how that is actually your strength. Because we all deserve to work the way we're wired.
Woo! Okay, judges, she crushed burnout recovery. Did she crush tonight?
I love it. I love everything about it. I love the courage it takes to stand on the stage and speak from a place of real vulnerability when we're talking about things that people are saying about us that are supposed to be a negative, and you literally show us how to flip the script. I think that's just so powerful and vulnerable. I guess if I had any feedback, it would just be that I wanted a little bit of that big idea a little earlier. Like, I wanted to know exactly where you were taking us so I could, again, just kind of really lean into it. But honestly, it was really fantastic.
Awesome, you had me. I was expelled from grade 8, so I was that kid. They didn't call the police on girls because girls in the 80s didn't have ADHD. Thank you for highlighting how important it is for us to have inclusive learning environments and inclusive workplaces. Again, awesome. You can bleep that out, Jasmine. All I will say is, though, you could have gone a little deeper on that story and left out your first story. You didn't really need the Halloween bit. I was ready for it, but you didn't need it. You could have gone straight to the school environment. Well done.
All right. Need a little intrigue now because I don't agree with the Halloween story being omitted. I think it was a powerful way. You made a Halloween party sound like SEAL Team 6. It was just like it's just a Halloween day party. You're like 50 cents. We're going here. Boom, 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 boom. And when you transition to I didn't always feel that way. It was like a camera, like if you were watching a film, you see all this excitement and woo. And then you took us into the depth of your feeling and emotion. So I think that contrast was important, to go from something so simple and so childish or childlike to something so serious with another child in your life, and then bringing that contrast, working the way you're wired. I was so happy that you landed with that line as your last, like, please say work the way you're wired at the end. Please say work the way you're wired. And it carried the essence of the message, and you are carrying the essence of doing just that.
Megan, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Loved it so much. You're a really natural storyteller with very natural gift of humor, which I fully appreciate. As someone who, first career was stand-up, like, you have a gift. You have a gift for that. So my only piece of feedback actually is in the reveal when you say that you found out that you were neurodivergent as well. You can actually build that up a little bit, right? So you could ask this question, right? You were trying to understand why you were so emotionally invested. Like, what was it that was drawing you to this? Why were you feeling this way, right? And then you bring us into the moment that you found out. And let us sit in that. And that's gonna take it to an emotional level that then everything thereafter, we're soaking it in that much more. Brilliant, brilliant job.
Thank you.
Thank you.